Hey guys, welcome to another video, and I think you all should know that I am Canadian. I know, shocker, shocker. I'm Canadian and I'm proud. But one thing I also love is a theme park that is in Canada. It's in Vaughan, Ontario, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live. Canada's Wonderland is the name of this theme park. Fucking love Canada's Wonderland. Sorry, guys. I love it. It's a great theme park. Great rides, great roller coasters, just all kinds of sweet rides. And it's just a cool park. It looks nice. It's well designed, well laid out. A lot of great pictures you can take with your friends. Just a lot of great explorations you can do there. And just, it's a great park for the family. There's a water park. There's like a kid park. But most importantly, there is a lot of kick-ass rides. And I'm here to talk about my top 10 personal favorites. I'm not going to do least favorites because there's only like one or two I really hate. One of them is Time Warp, and the other is Flight Deck. Not a big fan of those roller coasters, but these 10 are my personal favorite rides. Some are roller coasters, some are just like certain types of rides, but these are my 10 favorites. I have to ride these every time, so let's get to it. Coming at number 10 is the Canadian Mindbuster. I love the Canadian Mindbuster. This was one of my favorites as a kid. One of my favorites. I loved it. It was in my top 5. It's a wooden roller coaster, and I'm very mixed when it comes to like wooden roller coasters because some of them are like old and crookedy and they like hurt people's back and shit. Like the Wild Beast. I actually don't mind the Wild Beast, but it needs improvements. Then there's like Dragon Fire, which I think is okay. But the Mindbuster, I really enjoy this ride. It feels like you're on like an insane train ride, and you're gonna be like derailed any minute, and it's pretty awesome. And some people say like the ride gives them a bit of a headache, or it's a little jittery, or if they're screaming, they like bite their lip or tongue. It happens. I've done it before. It's not pleasant. But I love the ride, the feel of the ride, and just I love that it gets a little jittery and stuff. And again, it feels like you're going to be derailed on a train track, and it's just really cool. There's also this little tunnel you go through. It's really awesome. And just something about the feel of it. It's a classic. It's one of the very first rides in Canada's Wonderland. It is like, I think it is the oldest, might be one of the oldest. It's one of the first rides in the theme park, and it's just it's a classic. It's a one you always got to go on when you go to Wonderland, especially if you've only been there one time or haven't been there yet and you want to like explore it more. Got to try the Canadian Mindbuster. I know it's more of like a divisive ride. Some people really don't like it. Some people are very like anti-wooden roller coaster. I go with a lot of buddies, and some of them are very anti-wooden roller coaster. They don't want to go on a single wooden roller coaster, which is fine. I can take or leave them, actually, but the Mindbuster I like to go on. I think it is a fun, enjoyable ride. Some people might not like it, but I am a fan. Number 9 is Riptide. Back when Paramount owned Canada's Wonderland, it used to be called Paramount Canada's Wonderland. This ride was called the Cliffhanger. This ride is now called Riptide. Riptide's a better name, actually. I don't even know why it's called Cliffhanger. You're not even on a cliff, and it has nothing to do with the fucking Stallone movie, but whatever. I digress. Riptide is a really cool ride. It's almost like you're on a big, uncontrollable swing, and you're over this, like, fountain water, and you always feel like you're gonna fall in the water, or the water is just gonna splash you. And it's not a water ride. You're not gonna get like soaking wet. At best, you might get a couple sprinkles on your head, but you always feel like you're gonna like fall into this water, or the ride's gonna drop, and you're gonna go head first into the fountain, which I find kind of cool. I think it's a pretty sweet ride, and it's got this weird motion to it that I just really, really, really enjoy. Again, this is another ride people take or leave it. Some people always say, oh, you're going to get wet, you're going to get wet. I'm like, no, you're not going to get wet. And some people don't like the motion of it. And some people don't like hanging upside down for that long period of time. And it's not that long of a period of time, really. It's only a couple seconds. And some people don't like the motion of it and the flipping and the whoosh of it. It's the only way I know that's not a word or a description. You all know what I'm talking about. If you go on this ride, you'll know what the whoosh means. But I enjoy Riptide. I think it's a fun ride. It's definitely a ride people need to check out, especially when you go to the Canada's Wonderland. And also, it's like one of the first rides when you enter. It's like right by the entrance. So there's no reason why you should skip this ride. It's right by the fucking entrance. All right, number 8, Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, I have such a fascinating relationship with Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is a ride I never liked, actually, when I was younger. I didn't like it. A fun fact about me, I don't mind spinning rides. I really don't. But if that's all the ride is, I hate it. If a ride is just spinning you in circles, I don't like that. I don't find that fun or enjoyable. There's a ride at Wonderland called Nightmare, and I don't like it. You're trapped in this like cage, and you get spun in circles, and that's the ride. I think that's really stupid. So when I went on this ride as a kid, and I found it too spinny, and one of my favorite rides in the park is kind of spinny, but I'll get to that. But I found it too spinny, and I always avoided it for so long. But just recently, I went to Wonderland this summer, and I tried Sledgehammer. It's been like 13 years since I've been on the Sledgehammer. I'm like, I gotta try it out. Got on, and it does do its spinny thing, but then it also does like these big waves. And I forgot about the waves and the motions of it while you're spinning. And it's really cool, actually. It's very unique, and it's unlike any ride at Wonderland. And that's why I really enjoyed it. I have like this new respect for the Sledgehammer. It's so weird. I have this like, I was always convinced that this ride was just terrible. It was a shitty ride, and just who wants to be spinning circles and stuff. But no, it's actually really cool. Actually, the spinning is not too like, nauseating, and the motions and the waves and the flips you do are really cool. Actually, you have this really cool like feeling of motion when you're in this ride, and I don't know, it's very fun and it's very enjoyable. It does break down a lot, though. That's another downside of this ride. Like, if you really love the Sledgehammer, it should be one of the first rides you go on, because when you're there all day, it always breaks down. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the controls of it and just how the ride is. I don't know, but it breaks down a lot, so definitely go on it right away. But yeah, Sledgehammer. Really enjoyed. Really enjoyed. All right, number 7 is the Backlot Stunt Coaster. And when Paramount had this ride, it was called the Italian Job. Gotta start right off the bat. That beginning, holy shit. That jolt you get in the beginning of this ride, holy fuck. I love that. Is one of the biggest praises I can give this ride. Instantly, you start off and the ride just goes. It just fucking goes. It's not like a ride where like most rides build up. That's the point of the ride. It's the build up. It's like going up the hill, or it's like turning to the side into a cave. Like, it's build up, and then you get that drop, or you get that push, or you get that slide or something. But the Backlot Stunt Coaster automatically just shoots you out, because you're in these cars. They're like stunt cars, and it shoots you out. Like, it's like you're in Fast and Furious, and you're in a fucking NOS car ride, and it doesn't stop. It's literally like, it's only like a 1 minute ride, but it's 1 minute of pure adrenaline fun. Fucking love it. When you go into that black cave, scary as shit. Terrifying. I love this ride. It's a ride I can like go on multiple times, because it has that really, when the ride first starts, I gotta tell you guys, just hold on for dear tight, because you might like, your head might go back, and you might get a little whiplash. Just hold on dear tight, and just let the ride do its thing. Guarantee you're gonna have a good time. All right, number 6, the Vortex. It's a classic right here. When I was a kid, I always loved the Vortex. The Vortex was just such a fun ride. I love that it's a roller coaster, but like it dangles and stuff. It's like in these like pods, and it's so odd and weird, but I love it. It's so simple but brilliant. Another thing I love about the Vortex is it's exciting. It's like it goes across the whole mountaintop. The biggest landmark of Canada's Wonderland is the big mountain. That's where the 2 cave rides are. And the Vortex goes through and up around the mountain, which I think is really freaking cool. I think it's a great idea for a ride. And I love how fast it is. The Vortex is one of the fastest rides in the park. So if you're looking for pure adrenaline and pure speed, Vortex is the way to go. Super fast. It just gives it to you, man, and you're having a good time. Trust me, you're having a great time. And it's one of the longer rides too. It's not like the stunt coaster. This is why I rank it higher than the stunt coaster, and I love the stunt coaster. But the Vortex is longer. It gives you that adrenaline for a longer time. Because the stunt coaster is between like 55 to 58 seconds. Vortex is like 2 minutes. So you're getting that stunt coaster adrenaline, but with longer, and you get better visuals. You go over the mountaintop. You go through some of the waiting lines. Like you go over the people, and people can see you and stuff. The coaster, you're basically just going on a track through a tunnel, and then that's it. You're seeing a lot more of the land of Wonderland while shooting, going fucking almost 100 miles an hour. It's fucking insane. And yeah, just I love the Vortex. It's always been one of my favorites. Number 5, Shockwave. Shockwave is just pure. It shouldn't have been called Shockwave. It should have been called Insanity, because the ride is insane. It's like Riptide mixed with my number 2. No, my number 3, sorry. I'll get to my number 3. But my number 3 mixed with Riptide. This is what Shockwave is. It's so fucking crazy. You're spinning in all these freaking directions. You're going this way and that way. You're going up, down, left, right. And it's just, you gotta just hold on dear tight and hope you don't fucking vomit on the person next to you. Really great ride, though. I've always enjoyed it. I love that it's so out there. And you think you're going one way, but then you're going this way and this way. Your body is flipping in all different angles, and it's awesome. It's great. I love you can see the trees while you're flipping like a madman on this ride. But I always love Shockwave. It's just crazy. Like I said, it should have been called Insanity because the ride is pure insane. But top 5 for sure. All right, number 4, Leviathan. I know people are gonna hate me for this because Leviathan, if you know Canada's Wonderland people and the Canadians and stuff, Leviathan is like always number 1, number 2 best ride at Canada's Wonderland ever. Like even putting at number 3 is like a controversial opinion. I'm putting at 4. People are gonna lose it because people think Leviathan is a perfect ride. Honestly, they're pretty much right. It is a fucking great ride. This is a personal list. I just think my number 1, 2, and 3 I like more. I enjoy more. Leviathan, the one big flaw I have with Leviathan is not even because of the ride. It's because of the park. The lineup for this ride is so goddamn long. You're waiting almost 2 hours to go on this damn ride. It is the longest lineup, and it moves so ungodly slow. But again, that's not the ride's fault, so can't knock it too much. But the ride itself is genius. I love that it is a roller coaster, but it doesn't have like the shoulder protections. It has just the bar on the waist side, and that's it. And you go over a loop, but because of the aerodynamics and how fast you're going, your butt stays in that chair when you go over that loop. Insane. That drop is incredible, though. The drop in Leviathan is one of the best drops. It's so fantastic. I love how long the ride is and how crazy fast it goes. I love that you go through the parking lot, and I love you go through other rides and see other people on rides while you're on this ride. It is insane, and that wind hits you. The ride goes so fast and goes in so insane directions, you can barely scream when you're on this ride. You can barely scream. Your voice just doesn't emote, and I love it. It's a crazy ride, like especially if you're in the front row of Leviathan. That's the best way to ride Leviathan. I think that's also maybe a flaw with the ride, but if you're sitting front row in Leviathan, you're gonna get a hell of an experience, fucking insane experience. But yeah, one of my favorites. Number 3 though, Cyclone. Cyclone is one of my favorites. This was my number 1 for all my childhood, all of my teen years, but my number 1 and my number 2 beat it out, but this was always one of my favorites. I can go on this ride just over and over and over again, and I will never get tired of it. It is the only ride in the park. It actually makes you feel like you're flying. And that is the best adrenaline rush for me, is the fear of either falling or flying. It shoots you up in the air and you just soar out into the clouds like you're on a rocket ship to space. And it's incredible. And when you fall down, it feels like you're gonna crash. It is it's a hell of a feel. This ride just makes you feel alive. I'm an adrenaline junkie in a way, and I fucking love this ride. I love it. I would marry this ride, but I'm already married. But maybe me and Lindsay will both marry it. But I love Cyclone. I love the motion and the feel of it. It's such a simple ride, but it works so beautifully. Cyclone, one of my favorites. Number 2, the Behemoth. I remember when this ride was introduced. I think it was introduced... When was this? I think it was introduced in 2009? It could be 2008. I'm going to guess 2009. I rode it when the summer when the ride came out, and I was so excited for it. Me and my brother went, and I was pumped to ride this ride. And it delivered all of the goods, like everything I wanted in a roller coaster. This ride delivers it. I love the colors, the oranges and the greens and stuff. I love the way it's seated too. You're sitting in when you're in the seat, there's like 2 seats together, and then behind you is 2 seats apart, and it goes in a pattern like that through the whole roller coaster ride. I love that idea. That concept and that seating arrangement is really, really cool. And again, the drop. I'm a drop guy. Like, some people like to ride roller coasters for the lifts or for the spins or the loop-de-loops and stuff. I'm a dropper. I love the feeling of a drop. And this drop is insane. And because you're in such a seat that doesn't feel like it's going to hold you, you feel like you're going to fall out of that seat. I love that feeling. I know, call me crazy. I love the feeling of I'm going to fall right out of this damn little stool of a seat. And it's incredible. What an incredible rush. And the whole track is fantastic, going up and down, side to side. It goes quick. It goes over these crazy loops, these angles. And again, it's the seating that makes it even more enjoyable, because you're on this little stool thing that feels like it's going to break right off. It's just like, what the hell am I not falling out of this damn ride? And I love it. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite rides on the park. This, when it came out, took Cyclone out, and it was my number 1. Behemoth, for a long time, for years, Behemoth was my number 1. It was Cyclone, then it was Behemoth, but I have a new number 1. Number 1, Yukon Striker. The Yukon Striker is the newest ride in Canada's Wonderland, and I hate to say that it's number 1, because I hate to just give it to the new ones. This ride gives me every rush I need in a roller coaster. It gives me everything I want in a roller coaster ride. It's drop. It drops you at a 30-degree angle, and it's pure adrenaline insanity. It's incredibly incredible. Like, it starts when you start off, and there's rows of 8, and you kind of spin, you go up, and then when it tilts you down, especially when you're in that front row. That front row, man, especially if you're in the front row on the far left or the far right, you really get that feeling when you're in the far left, far right. But when you're in that front row and it tilts that 30-degree angle, it just freezes the ride for a good 10 seconds. But it feels like it's a minute. And when it lets you go, it feels like the ride is not attached to any chains or anything. It feels like it's just going. And it is one of the best adrenaline rushes I've had on any roller coaster. It's pure amazing. Then you go down this little tunnel, up and around, all these through, and you go almost through the entire park of Canada's Wonderland with the Yukon Striker. And it's amazing. It's absolutely an incredible ride. And the biggest praise I can give it, it's smooth. It's such a smooth ride. A lot of the roller coasters, especially how older they get, They get a little clinky and rickety. Sometimes they jolt your body a little bit. They freeze a little bit. That's the thing when it comes to roller coasters. Even Leviathan has it. There's a couple jolty moments there, but the Yukon Striker, I don't know how they built this ride. I'm no engineer, so I have no fucking idea. But how smooth the ride is, and just how smooth you go, it just feels so good. It's so flowing and so natural that it's perfect to me. To me, it is a perfect roller coaster, and my all-time favorite in the theme park of Canada's Wonderland. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite rides in Canada's Wonderland. So thank you guys for watching. And if you've been to the theme park of Canada's Wonderland, let me know what your favorite roller coaster is in the comments below. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.